I want to thank PlayStation Canada for providing a code for review. In 2018, God of War was released and set a new standard for single-player games. It won multiple awards and was praised by many, including myself. Santa Monica Studios took a franchise that many had written off and breathed brand new life into it. To say it's hard to follow up on an instant classic is an understatement. Most of the time, next to impossible. But God of War 2018 was so different from its predecessors and left you in awe as you threw that Leviathan axe and it flew right back into Kratos' hands. Honestly, I still can't get over how awesome that was. God of War Ragnarok doubles down on that feeling and gives you a lot of the same gameplay, but at the same time, feels new and rewarding. God of War Ragnarok is a journey that hits you in the heart within the first 5 minutes, and it's a roller coaster of action and emotion from start to finish. It's one of the best games of 2022, and discuss any story, so this is going to be a spoiler-free review, so don't worry about that. As I've said before, the gameplay is a lot of the same regarding the fighting mechanics, but adds some new weapons throughout the story. You get to spend more time using more than just Kratos throughout the story as well, which gives you a fresh look at combat. As with all the games, your character has developed amnesia, and for some reason has forgotten all his skills from the previous game. But that is a video game trope, so I can't fault them on that one. The skill tree is back, but you need to craft and upgrade your weapons to unlock sections of that skill tree for your character. Your characters earn XP as you progress through the story, and after each encounter with enemies, and when you finish missions. Collectibles are everywhere, along with Odin's Ravens are back, so don't worry, you get to have fun killing them all over again. The puzzles that stand in your way are different from the previous game, and in some cases add another level of difficulty in solving them. As in the last game, you won't be able to solve all puzzles as you will need a specific skill to unlock them, but as you progress in the story, you'll be able to do so. The boss fights are just as cinematic, but they've added some other elements to make them more complicated, like health regeneration, extra shields, but have made the parry more functional and a must for most of the boss battles. The Valkyries aren't back this time, but a new enemy type is, and is just as challenging scattered around the realms. You're still going to have the God of War gameplay that you love, with the hack and slash and the brutal finishers. But they go the extra mile in telling you a story that make you fall in love with each character you meet and make you feel like you know them by the end of it. I did find the pacing at one point to throw me off, but I didn't know at the time it was actually a crucial story beat, and actually made it an integral part of the story along the way. The dialogue in the game is like a guide when you're stuck on puzzles, or as you progress to tell you you've missed something or even to make fun of you while collecting things. They actually just like start talking to you like randomly in the game saying, are you going to go collect this? Or are you sure you want to don't want to do another mission or something like that? They do it in a way that I didn't notice but came on to rely on as I progressed and kind of made me laugh a lot. The variety in enemies could have been better, as some feel the same and look a little reskinned, but it was only one set of enemies that I noticed this. Even after you roll credits, there's a lot more game left to play, and they've added some replayability there, and not just by finishing up side missions or going after the rest of collectibles. They've added all new missions that take place after the credits. A feature I wish they used more was the DualSense. Sometimes the haptic triggers were used, but I felt they had far more opportunities to use them when they didn't. The traversal is a lot more interactive, and now have added verticality to combat sequences, which is awesome. Make sure you read the lore pages and some of the collectibles because you're sure to find some fun Easter eggs in them from other PlayStation first-party games.
Whoa! Gotcha!
I played it with my headphones on, without, and with a surround sound, but the 3D audio stood out the most and added another element to the game as you could hear the enemies around you. The sound design was well done. From the menu and inside the game, it added some extra touches. The music throughout the game built up suspense during cutscenes and tense moments in the game, and added fun to those light moments. I still love the sound of the Leviathan axe as you catch it. It'll never get old.
Loki! I've got it. Tell me when. Let go!
I played it on my PS5 on a TV that offers 4K 120 frames per second, and I tried all the different modes of the game. It features many graphics modes. Favorite resolution is 4K 30, favorite performance is 60 frames per second, favorite resolution is 4K 40, and favorite performance is 120 frames per second. They also have a slider that you can put on high frame rate mode. I played on favorite resolution, which is 4K 40, but with high frame rate mode on. And I thought the game ran and looked beautiful. I did try on favorite performance, and the game ran beautiful as well, but with all the elaborate set pieces and the different realms, I wanted to see the world in 4K. So I hope we get an update like we did for Spider-Man Remastered that gives us that 4K 120. The character models look great and look very realistic, but it wasn't that big of a standout upgrade from 2018 God of War, except for better lighting and finer details. It wasn't like a standout like we saw with Horizon earlier in the year, but you know what? The gameplay solely made up for it. The realm design and level design stood out for me and added another character to the game. They felt more alive and added a level of immersion. I caught myself just panning the camera to see the beautiful detail of the world I was in. Not having a photo mode though, it hurt the game, but the developers have said that it's coming later on. There are parts near the end of the game that boss battles, the photo mode would have been unbelievable to use because they were so cinematic. Making a game that has to follow up to a genre-defining game is no small task. Making it so it doesn't feel the same but also captures the same magic is next to impossible. Santa Monica Studios does this and makes a better game than its predecessor. I never thought I would say I would be taken on an emotional journey playing a God of War game, but here we are. I loved God of War 2018, but didn't connect with it as I have with Ragnarok. They did a masterful job with this game, and I can't wait to see what they do next.